Hi guys, welcome back to Conversations with Kanyomozi. I hope you're loving our episodes so far. Please let me know if you are liking things, if I should switch up things, if I should change my tone, if I should be more playful. I'm at your service, but on my channel, remember. Now go ahead and subscribe. Go and subscribe, friends, so that I can have more zeal, more power, more energy. Know that there's someone watching, there's someone I'm creating content for. Follow us also on our social media. That is at Conversations with Kanyomozi. I hope you are ready for today's. So we're still in the book, we're still in April. So we're still in the book and dissecting parts of it. I will do this seasonally until our August 8th launch. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So this is a bit, I don't know how you guys are going to think about it. Maybe it'll be a learning dynamic because it was a learning dynamic for me when I got into the thinking and the headspace of it. And also to think of putting it in my book. So again, the book is called On the Job, and a lot of the things I'm learning, a lot of the things that I wrote down and published were things I was learning as a young woman, as a young daughter, as a young sister, as a young Lisa, as a young person, just navigating different things. And there is the last section of the book that's titled You First, that is me doing self-introspection, asking myself questions, and all of those, yeah? So there's an article that I write on Is Not Superheroes. Now, if I could share a picture of my parents, I'll ask before they edit and see if you guys can see them. But my parents are, I would say, if I could come back in another life, they're the people that I would choose over and over again. They love with intention, they're purposeful, they're present, they sacrifice each part of their beings just to make sure that me and my siblings are good. Like we can say we've suffered, yeah, we've gone through stuff, we've gone through life, but one thing we can never say is that we've not been loved. That is one thing we will never have the authority to say because we are loved in its entirety. However, now that's not a however in any way. As I was growing up, I sort of saw that my parents are not superheroes. So when you're little and you see your parents, your dad is like in the sky, and then you grow up and he's like 5'4", and you're like, hey, boss, you were not that big. Or your mom seems like the most perfect human being. Like no one could ever, and personally, no one could ever match my mother. But when you grow up, you start to see parts of your parents. I don't know if you have the blessing to have intimate relationship with them, and you're like, but why do you keep doing that? But as an adult, why are you doing that? Like, why do you keep putting us in this position? Or why do you keep letting that happen to you? Why? And at a point in my life, as I was growing older and becoming more of an adult, and I'm the firstborn, so firstborn trauma, what's good? So I witnessed my parents in each and every form of themselves, and at a point I'm just like, but do you guys, are we thinking, friends? Are we thinking? No, are we thinking through this? And now I started forming some sort of resentment in different times and forms towards my parents because I was just not understanding how they were making certain decisions that they were making fully. Like they said, this is what we're doing. I was like, okay, let's do better. And by the time I wrote the book, I think I had come to a place where I was like, no. Your parents are not superheroes. Your parents are people. Your parents are people who have faced trauma. Your parents are people who have faced challenges. Your parents are people who have gone through things they didn't expect to go through. Your parents have been disappointed in places that they didn't know they'd be disappointed. And sometimes their coping mechanisms are not healthy mechanisms because our generation is so in touch. It's so in touch with their emotional intelligence. So we know, hey, that's depression. Hey, that's what? That's anxiety. That's, sorry. So I had to come to the realization that my parents are human beings, and because of that, they are allowed to fault, and they are allowed to fail at things, and they are allowed to make mistakes, even if they're continuous mistakes. And I'm in learning to love them, I have to give them the grace and the forgiveness, and not hoard a lot of heavy emotions. Shout out to my friend Tracy and Tasha who showed that to me. And I think in that I was able to grow a better relationship. So when I see myself getting angry about something, I'm like, no, give them grace, just like you would give yourself grace. So I don't know if you're listening in and you have, if you're listening in, tuned in, watching, I'm your entertainment for the day, and you have some sort of difficult relationship that you think you can walk through, maybe you can consider giving your parents grace or forgiveness, or taking them off the pedestal of parent and allowing them to be human, and then analyzing whatever the conflict is through the eyes of humanity. Obviously, it's different when it's emotional, physical, mental abuse that they can be giving. That's a whole different scenario. But if it's a couple of different things that can be worked through, put them through the lens of human being, not mommy, not daddy, not caregiver, and see. See how much grace you can accord them to work towards a better relationship. I can say as I speak now, my parents are my bestest friends. I love them to death. And even when we're going through it, we sit down and have conversations and we work through it. So also, I think they should print a book on how to parent. I think they've done amazing. Thank you so much for watching Conversations with Kanyomozi. I hope this has touched someone, helped someone, worked through for someone. Go ahead and follow me at Kanyomozi Oboniire and also our account at Conversations with Kanyomozi. Do you love our setup? Shout out to Goldmans Luxury.